Yeah. Okay. So fine. So let's review a little bit from last week. We started the Torah test. A Torah about tefillah. A Torah about tefillah. Good thing to do, right? To combine our Torahs and our tefillah. A real blessed thing to do. Yeah.
Sounds right.
Yeah. Sounds right. Okay. So we said last week that the Iker Chiyas, the main vitality of all of our ruchnis, all of our gashmis, everything you have in life comes from our tefillah. As we're not in the pasuk in Tehillim, tefillah lakel, davening to a Kodesh Baruch Hu chaya. It's my life. My ruchnis, my gashmis. We came out to have a tefillah b'shleimus, a Torah that has its shleimus, a full Torah. There's three main ingredients. B'kol kocho, dibur out loud, being into it, quote unquote into it. Beis, we said kavana, taking that koach and injecting it into the words that you're saying. Mechaving, kavana means, right, get it straight, know where you're aiming, where you're aiming all that koach into the words that you're saying, and then ultimately into your heart. And the last, what was the last part you need? All of this is all dependent on one main background of Amunah. The first one's called Amunah. It's all telling Amunah. So we said that was, David was the Dibur, Yosef was the Kavana, and Moshe was like the Amunah. When you daven properly, you're combining all those of the Avos together. And Tzaddik. Just a thing we didn't mention last week, because we have to. The Baal Shem talks about Tefillah in Parshas Noach, because he says the Teva are the Tevos, are the words of Torah and Tefillah, specifically Tefillah. So he talks about that. And if you could say even better, Teva, if you switch around the letters, Beis Hashem. Right? Teva is Beis Beis Hashem. In the last Torah, in Torah Ches, we mentioned what's Beis Hashem? The place of Tefillah. The Beis Hashem is the place of Tefillah. So Teva is specifically the words of Tefillah. And therefore we also have the three parts we just discussed. You have to build it strong. Atzei gofer, strong wood. That's a strong dibur, strong kalim. The words that we say in davening are the vessels. But then the Baal Shem says, tzohar also teva. You have to make it tzohar. What was tzohar? The light. The light's the kavana, the machshava that you put into the teva. That's all based on Amunah. Do you trust in Kodesh Baruch Hu? Do you trust in the teva or not? That's what the pasuk says. Vayomer Hashem Lenoch bo archa, come you v'chol beischa ela teva. You and all your family come to the teva, because I found for you to be a tzaddik in this door. The Kotzker says, what does it mean, you and your whole family? So he says, of course, in Chassidus, he says, bring all of your Ramach Evarim and your Shasar Gidin, bring your entire self, everything you got, put it into the teva. Put it into the words of tefillah. Because if you want tefillah to be polo, if you want it to be the Iker Chiyas of your life, then you have to put everything into it. This is the Iker Chiyas. This is the mainstay of our life. How do we not put everything into it? So someone asked last week, and we'll be makdim. First, let's be makdim. That the question here a little bit, we have to just, before we go on in general, we have to understand what's tefillah. What is tefillah? What's the tefillah? What is he talking about? We all know we go to shul 3 times a day, we daven. What is tefillah? What's the point of tefillah? And we've all heard these different shuls in different ways. So it's my turn to say a little bit. So I think you asked last week. Nice. I think you asked last week that it's fine, Jay. It's fine. We asked last week. You said if we have strong amunah, if the whole background of tefillah is amunah, right? You asked if we have amunah, what do we need tefillah for? Did you ask that question last week?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you asked that.
Yeah, I was just thinking about it on the drive over.
Oh, okay, good, beautiful. So if you have strong amunah, then what do you need tefillah for? Tefillah and amunah come from the same place. What do I have to daven for anything? Right? Everyone understand the question? Why, if I have very strong amunah, Kodesh Baruch Hu runs the world. Everything that Kodesh Baruch Hu does is for the best. Why do I need to daven for anything? Yeah, we're good?
What does that mean? Davening is a relationship. It's not about connection to God, is it?
We'll get to that. You in the back.
Yeah.
Comes in late, starts talking big. Okay, very good. Thank you, Gedalia.
But Gedalia comes with cookies, so.
It's not Gedalia Fenster. That's just Gedalia. It's a different
That was
Gedalia.
actually his shoe this morning.
Oh, good for you.
Oh, you did bring cookies. Wow.
Here we go. So again, the question is, if a person has strong emunah, and by emunah we mean that a person believes that a Kodesh Baruch Hu runs the world, everything comes from God, and He knows what's best for us. So why do we need to daven for? Kodesh Baruch Hu will take care of that anyway. Right? That's the question. Someone actually just asked me that yesterday also.
Yeah.
Today, actually, he texted it to me. He listened to the shir, and that's the question he came up with. So you guys mechaven to each other. So we have to just understand a little bit of the mahus. A little bit. There's a lot. Tefillah is never ending. But let's discuss. Yeah?
What is tefillah?
Let's tefillah. Because we have to understand, if we have strong emunah, what do we need tefillah for?
But I mean, it sounds like a good question, but it's like two separate. The emunah, like we said, is like the background. Meaning, on tefillah, I'm really only coming to daven because I have emunah, but that's not.
Okay, so then what is tefillah? We know tefillah and emunah are very connected. It's the same. It comes from the same place.
You have to activate the.
Oh, so let's see. So we're just going to speak out things that are dvarim pshutim that everyone knows.
Admiration.
Adam Rishon.
Yeah.
Because tefillah creates the tzino. Right? We have emunah that HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants the best for us and takes care of us. But we need a way to get it from Shemayim down to here. Called Shefa, called Bracha. So tefillah, one of the understandings of tefillah is it's the tzino, the way you daven, the conduit, the pipeline, to send all the shefa down. That's the Bayad Marishon, like Moshe was saying, that there was no one to daven for the rain to come down. Like the grass didn't grow, Chazal say, because Adam Rishon wasn't there, or the Pasuk says, Adam Rishon wasn't there to daven, to recognize the need for the rain, and then when he davened, so then it brought it down. Of course, HaKadosh Baruch Hu knew that he needs it to rain for the grass to grow, but we needed Adam Rishon to daven. Also, I saw from Rav Pinkus one time, Rav Shimshon Pinkus, he says, we know Yitzhak, we know Rivka was barren. Right? Rivka was barren, all the emos. And Yitzhak davened very strong, the Pasuk says. V'yer ta'alo. Davened very strong. Him in his corner, her in her corner. So Rav Pinkus says, what do you need to daven for? Kodesh Baruch Hu already promised Avram Avinu, Yitzhak, and then they'll have generations and, right? Thousands of children like the stars in the sky. So Yitzhak knew that Kodesh Baruch Hu was going to take care of it. He had emunah. If God promised my father that there will be a whole generation, there'll be a whole nation, so maybe my wife is barren right now, but she'll be okay. We'll figure it out somehow. Sarah gave birth at 90. So Rivka also 90, no. So why do you have to daven? So Pinkus says, because nothing comes down into this world unless there's tefillah. Because tefillah is what brings it down. It's the tzimah. That's one understanding, Pashut. And maybe that's what Rabbi Nachman means. Rabbi Nachman said, Ki kishemispalil b'kol kocho. When a person davens with his whole koach, umachnes kocho b'oses atfila, and then he takes that koach and he injects it into the words of the tefillah, kavana. Then he says a funny line here, not a funny line, but azay nischadesh kocho sham. In that place, there's a hischadshus, a renewal of the kochos, of your physical and spiritual self. Whatever you need is going to come through that. So it could be that's what he means. Azayin is chadish kol rosham, meaning you're creating the pipeline to draw things down. But after looking at this more carefully, it's not exactly what he says. Ki kishmaspal b'kol kocho. When a person davens with his full power, kol, out loud, moving his hands, clapping, right, putting himself into it, and then he puts the kavana in, azayin is chadish kocho sham. Then there's a renewal there. What does that mean? What's the renewal happening? Right, a person says, you hear it during a Musar Shmuz, you hear sometimes, be mechadish yourself. Hischadshus. Hischadshus means, right, hey, sof, hit, is going back to myself, reflexive. Hitchadshus, I should make myself, right, make yourself, if I said to you, hitchadshut, make yourself renewed, freshen up. What does that mean? What does that mean? What about this at Eliel's house? I don't know if it was there.
Because if you believe every second is a new opportunity, you have to constantly be renewing yourself.
Okay, that's outside of tefillah. What is his chadshus? What does it mean? What does that mean? I'm renewing myself. So I'll tell you one thought. What's a chiddush? What's a chiddush? Right, a novelty.
Bringing it down.
That's not the exact term. That's not the exact.
Oh, okay.
What is a chiddush? Pasha, what do you tell me? You have a new idea. You're learning something, or you're thinking something in business, something fresh, something new. It's a chiddush. You're mechadish something, right? Yesh me'ayin. Something, the chiddush from nothing came. Right? People in yeshiva all day long, they're learning, just to come up with chidushim. What has no one ever said before? So Chaim Volozhin says something amazing. Chaim Volozhin says, what's a chiddush? He says that a chiddush doesn't have to be something that was never in the world before, something fresh, something new. A chiddush is even when you have something you learned before. He's talking about in Torah. You have a yesh, but you're mevarer. You clarify that yesh. When you get more clarity, that's called a chiddush. Because it's a chiddush in yourself. That you understand this in a deeper way. Right? There's many, many levels to Torah and to life in general. When you clarify something, that's a chiddush to you.
It's a new way of looking at something.
That's what it is. It's a new madrega, it's a new level, it's clear, it's clarity. From that place, who knows where that will go? But the essence that you got to a little bit deeper, a new madrega, that's called a chiddush. Okay? That's a chiddush. So therefore, when we talk about ourselves, we're being machadish ourselves. So what does that mean, according to this? If we want to be machadish ourselves, what does it mean? Based on what we just said. Get a clear understanding of who you are. If a chiddush means getting something clear to a new madrega, understanding something on a deeper level, or Gemara, Ashay Tosfos, something in business, you read the contract again, get it clear, understand the wording, even though, of course, we're talking about Torah, but this could be everywhere. So therefore, if a person says to me that I should be mechadesh myself, I should make myself new. So if we learned before, I can make something new, fresh, yesh me'ayin, something that's never been in the world. How do I do that? How could I bring kochos into myself that I never had? How do I do that? That's not what it means. It means I have to clarify myself, learn more about myself, understand myself on a deeper level. In that place, that's a chiddush. And then you're in a different place. If I said to a person he's not davening so well, be mechadish yourself. What I really am trying to tell the person is, look at the words deeper. Clarify the words to you. What do you say? And if he does that, his davening will be 100% better. He was davening on one level, and now he's davening on a whole new level. Yeah.
So what's being mishadish? Us? Because of the davening?
So what does it mean over here? Again, Iker Chiyus, our Chiyus in this world, all of our Gashmis, all of our Ruchnis comes from Tefillah. And when we combine the Koach of the Tefillah with the Kavana getting into the words, in that place a Chiddush is happening. A Zayin is Chadish Kocho Sham. So what's this Chiddush? So let's say it like this. Tefillah has a lot of different understandings. The word Tefillah, what does it mean? There's a few explanations. Let's talk about two. There's one that comes from the name Naphtali. Naphtali is very similar to Tefillah. So Rashi over there even talks about Tefillah. The Indian is Chibur. Chibur, to connect two things. Tefillah is a lashon of connecting two things. Most obvious, me and God. Right? However, let's take it one step further. Tefillah is also a lashon. Hit palel. Right? That's how people, you heard that all a million times. Daven, hit palel. Yeah? Now what does that mean? If we understand Hebrew grammar, like we said before, hit means reflexive. So let's say hit labesh. What does that mean? He got himself dressed. Hit chadshus. He was mechadish himself. So what does hit palel mean? Not he davened, but he davened to himself. Right? Is that what it means? Hit palel. He davened to himself. He got himself dressed. He davened to himself.
He handled it all by himself.
What?
He did it without any aid. He did everything on his own. saying. He's
But it's
split off.
he davened to himself. Hit
But I'm
he davened
saying
to himself.
he
What does that
completed-
mean?
himself
He-
to daven,
Mm.
not to himself.
Chibur hitpalel. He's connecting to himself. This is
he-
one way we can say it.
Yeah,
Of course, we're davening to a Kodesh Baruch Hu. Of course. But tefillah, there's a big aspect of tefillah that people don't understand.
he has to open himself up first. He has to open himself up.
He does. He
So
does.
that's
But I'm not
the-
that. We're not even going. That's you're saying opens himself up to daven to Hashem. Right.
Open yourself up. You have to open yourself up first, and no matter what, that first you have to have a level to start. It's a start. The start has to be a spala.
But we're
There's
doing
no
even
other
deeper,
way.
even deeper, because we're talking. Because the first lashon of tefillah means chibur, connecting to. Hit paleh. I'm davening to myself. By davening. I'm connecting to myself. Not just opening myself up. I'm connecting to myself in a deeper way. When a person davens, he's clarifying himself. If we daven properly, he's being mechadesh himself. He's learning new things about himself. Here, I'll tell you. Let me read you something. You see this book? The new book that came out. I don't know. New. Rav Kook. Someone put it out. Rabbi Zev, Ari Zev Schwartz translated different pieces of Rav Kook. Okay, let me read you two pieces. I'll read you one and then I'll. You ready? Page 88 over here. Here we go. Inside one's soul exist many positive desires. Good. Yet one must learn to actualize them, to bring them out. They're there, but koach, in potential, but they're not actualized. If I ask a guy, come on, you want to daven better than that, right? Of course. You want to learn better than that, right? Of course. You want to be a better husband, a better son, whatever. Of course, obviously. It's all there. How do you get it out? Yet one must learn to actualize them. The best way to do this is through speech, which influences one's mind and imagination. Therefore, prayer is very important. It brings out our deepest emotions. Prayer causes an actual transformation inside a person. You understand what he's saying over here? No, what he's saying is that tefillah can get inside of a person. Of course, tefillah is davening to Hashem, and bakashas and praises to Hashem. That's for sure. But the main way to praise Hashem is when you're praising Him from the deepest place you can get to in yourself. And when a person davens b'koach, with kavana, and he means it, the speech, the dibur that he's saying, that has the ability to bring himself to himself in a deeper way. It's like a magical power. Here, listen to what he says over here. He says an interesting line over here. He says, therefore, I'm just reading in the middle. Therefore, each person praying should understand that the act of prayer is a miraculous law of nature that God created in His world for the purpose of bringing His creatures to every type of perfection. We don't have to understand it to the deepest point, but tefillah, when you do it right, be'emes, you perfect yourself. So that's what it means. That's what Rabbi Nachman means. Azayin is chadish kochos sham. You're fresh, new kochos. In the way of that you clarified yourself. You're new and fresh because you realize you're much stronger than you thought you were when you started. Not that I worked out and I now have bigger muscles from the outside. No, I had the potential within. And the chiddush is that I was able to actualize a deeper place, that potential. Yes? So I'll read you one more piece here that is really, it could be that he took it from this Torah. We know Rav Kook learned a lot of Rabbi Nachman. I think he once said, I am Rabbi Nachman. Such a line. I think I heard Rav Warner say that. I don't know where he says that. Rav Kook says, I am Rabbi Nachman. So obviously his pieces are... Heard that before?
I heard that shit where somebody asked him, why don't you ever quote Rabbi Nachman? And I closed his eyes for like a half hour. So like,
Rav Kook.
yeah.
Not Rav Warner, yeah.
I am back.
Listen to this. I'll read to you the beginning here. I'll read you this. This is exactly what we were saying up until now. The Os Aleph. Prayer is one of the most practical way of attaining one's desires, spiritually and physically. Right? Chiyas. I get my chiyas, ruchnis and gashmis. Communally and individually. The ideal type of prayer is when a person is also actively involved in practical ways of attaining one's desires. Meaning you have to do hishtadlus, you have to try to learn better, and then you daven for it, and then that combination brings it out. Prayer is then connected to real ways of actualization. Prayer that is filled with a spirit of laziness, not bekoach. If it's you just go and you say the words, sitting back, I see people even cross their legs during davening. That shows that they're not into it. This is not the ideal prayer. This is a sign that the great benefit of prayer has not been internalized in the depths of one's soul. One is still filled with doubts and questions. He's lacking his emunah that frustrate the weakened heart concerning the essence and importance of prayer. He doesn't understand. He doesn't have emunah in tefillah. And even if a person battles against those thoughts and decides to believe in prayer, for this person it is merely a magic trick. One's faith in the power of prayer is weak. It is still not understood as a natural law of the universe. If we understand, if we have emunah in tefillah and gravity, there's no difference. Just like gravity, right? Everything goes down. Tefillah works just like gravity works. You just have to believe in it. You have to believe in it. Last line. Therefore, a person must lift oneself up to an inner understanding of the power of prayer, like we're doing, and connect all actions taken toward any goal with prayer. So that's what we're talking about over here. That's the chiddush. And that's why a person needs the b'koach, davening out loud and being into it, the kavanah, putting that koach into the words, focusing, understanding the words, connecting to the words, and all that is totally in our madrega of emunah. Good?
Never really thought of that. Emunah during davening.
You're not supposed to think about the
Right,
emunah.
I'm saying within the context of tefillah. I'm saying.
The emunah, right? Generally, people think emunah on Kodesh Baruch Hu. You have to have emunah in tefillah also. Yeah, you have to have emunah in emunah. You have to have emunah in tefillah. Emunah is in everything. The emunah in yourself. Okay, let's go weiter. So we're right now by the Hagdam of Os Beis. La'achish in his bar, right? In the Likutey Moharan. La'achish in his bar shal yidei sha'adam mispal b'kol kocho. You have to explain that after a person davens with his full koach, out loud, strong, hu makabel kochos chadoshim la'avodas Hashem. He has renewed strength in his avodas Hashem. V'hu mashpia chiyas l'kol ha'olamos, and through him perfecting himself, he also affects the whole world. Yizbar Ka'is, we're going to explain Devar Nosafim. Shadam Zocha Lehem Aideshim Espal B'Kol Kocha. We're going to talk about some other things that a person is Zocha to when he davens B'Kol Kocha. Osbeis. Vidas as Renachin Yishano. Sheyesh Shnei Masar Shvatim and 12 Shvatim. V'Shnei Masar Shvatim B'Shorsham Ha'elyon B'Shemayim. And these 12 Shvatim in their upper shores, in their upper root, where do they come from? Heim Keneged Shnei Masar Mazolos. Right, we know there's 12, for lack of a better word, constellations, whatever, mazolos, hamanhigim masolim, that run the world, which are also 12 what? Months, which are based on 12 really what? 12 permutations of the Yud-Kei Vav-Kei. You know, those, the Damanusach Sar, you know by Musaf. You ever see that by Musaf first Kodesh? On the bottom of the Seder, B'nai Yisrael, when you say, Baruch Atah Hashem, for Rosh Chodesh, there's 12 different ways Yud Kei Vav Kei could be. You could really do 24. Yud Kei Vav Kei, or Kei Vav Kei Yud. Right? There's different permutations that you could do it. So there's 12 main ways based on the 12 for the 12 months. That's what every koach of the month comes from one of those permutations. How Hashem sends His shefa into this world, it's through the osios of His name. So each month has a different one. Each month has a different shevet. Each month has a different mazel. Right? The kol shevet who connected mazel echad. Each shevet is connected one of the mazalos. Umashpia shefel also mazel. And each shevet gives hashpa. Each shevet down here, we'll see, actually sends up to the mazel in Shemayim shefel. V'kol shevet v'shevet yesh lo nuscha miyuchedes b'tefillah fi shorsho b'chinaso b'shamayim. Each shevet has its own nusach and tefillah, based on its source where it came from. Because each shevet comes ultimately from one of the Yud Kei Vav Kei permutations, and the tefillah is going to be different in that place. V'yesh lo shar miyuchad likanas derech sham tefillasa. And each shevet, based on its special nusach of tefillah, whatever that meant, whether different words or different way of davening, whatever that exactly meant. In the Midbar, when all the Shvatim got together to daven, and they all davened with their own, tribe in a different way, they each had their own path, their own gate, shar, their own gate to enter in. Kodesh tagir tefillah l'shorosh hashayach lo b'shamayim. Each one had a window that when they sent to Shemayim, their tefillah would go to that place. And each shevet awakened with his tefillah the koach of the mazel. So each of the shvatim down here davening, l'mayisa davening Shmona Esrei, as they were davening with kavana, they were sending up shefa to the mazel. Through their tefillah, they were sending up koach, power, shefa, energy, influence to the mazel and shemayim. And then what happened? And then the mazel sent back down koach to give growth, give energy to the plants or whatever else was needed. Whatever that mazel had koach over, some mazals had koach over the grass and the trees. Some had mazal had koach over the waves, whatever. So they would daven, Shvatim would daven up, it would go up to the mazel, and then from that koach that the Shvatim sent up, the mazel will then take that and send it back down, and it would give life and chiyas to that which it governs. Now we could easily understand this nowadays, because what does it sound like? Satellites. Before they had satellites, it was a little bit harder for them to understand, but we understand this perfectly. Satellites have all the time signals going up and down, you can't see anything. Satellites are in Shemayim. You've never even seen a satellite. But yet we know they work. So this is where the satellites came from. From this ruchnius dika emes that a Kodesh Baruch created in the world, the kochos of tefillah that we send up to the mazals, and the mazal sending it back down. That there was a heshtalshelus in the world for hundreds of years. Ultimately, that turned into the ability of satellites, right? And now, based on the satellites, we can understand that the ruchnis. It has nothing to do with the Torah, but I think that's emes. So it's by our tefillah. It's by our tefillah that what happens? We get chiyas. Because we send the tefillah up, and it comes back down. Or yasher or chozer. Kol advam shabolim shaychim ekshum l'mazal zeh. The more kochos you put into tefillah, because if you want to send those tefillahs up, you got to give it a jetpack. You can't have a lazy tefillah. You have to really go in there with a lot of intensity. You have to mean it. You have to be into it. Doesn't mean screaming necessarily. It means be there. So the more koach you put into the tefillah, kach tefillah mevia yosa shefalom. Ultimately, the more shefas can come into the world. So our chiyas is totally in ourselves. Because whatever we put into our tefillah, we're going to get out. The more you actualize your kochos in tefillah, the more you're actualizing yourself. People think that I don't want to daven because it's broken. I'm not getting what I want when I daven. That's not the purpose of tefillah. The purpose of tefillah is to actualize yourself, make yourself bigger. And what comes, comes. It's part of the emunah and the bitachon. The Zeh Perish, Rabbi Nachman explains, that's the Perish in this pasuk. Mashnei B'Rechos of Shal Bilam. Bilam gives a bracha to Klal Yisrael. He says, Dorach kochav miyakov, v'kom shevet miyisrael. Yaakov mazel miyakov, a star is going to come out from Yaakov, umelech miyisrael, which is going to be the king. Talking about David and Melech. V'zeh David. Ramos b'pasuk zeh kach, he says like this. V'kom shevet miyisrael, come means to what? Get up. Zeh b'chinas hamidah. standing up. V'amida hi romezes lebechinas tefillah. Amida is tefillah. Gemara Bracha says, "Ein amida elo tefillah." Who is that talking about? No, Avram Avinu. Also, one more person. We learn that the lashon amida, when it says Avram got up in the morning and he stood there, it doesn't say he davened, it says he stood there. So we said, oh, that means tefillah. How do we know? Because it says by Pinchas, I forgot the exact lashon, v'amad v'yipalel. He got up and he davened. So amida means when you get up, it means davening. So when it says Avram Avinu got up in the morning, by Ashkem B'boker, Shacharis, that amida was tefillah. That's how we learn Shacharis from Avram Avinu. So zeh bechinas amida. V'amida u'ramezah bechinas tefillah. So when Bilam said, "V'kam shevet Yisrael," it means tefillah. Kiatil hi b'amida, dahainu k'shadam shevet Yisrael omeid with lispalel, when somebody from Klal Yisrael, from one of the Shvatim, "V'kam shevet Yisrael," got up to daven, al yidei zem or kochav, dorach kochav miyakov, a star will emerge. When what? When will that happen? V'kam shevet Yisrael. When Klal Yisrael's daven. What's the kochav? The kochav is in reference to that mazel. Kiko mazel connected kochav b'shamayim, because each mazel has a star in Shemayim. V'hu, that tefillah knows in koach l'kochav. This person who's davening, he's sending it up to the mazel to give the kochav, that star, the koach. V'akochav hu dorech u'maki u'dvam sheyigdulu. And then that star, in turn, comes back. The lashon is makeh. It hits that which is supposed to grow. It's from a medrash. What is he going to bring? Chazal tells us in Bereshis Rabbah, "Ein lecha esav milamata." There's no blade of grass. No blade of grass. She'ein lo kochav u'malach milamala. That doesn't have a kochav or a malach that governs it from above. Shemaka oso v'omer gedal. It hits it and says grow.
What's the difference between Kochavim and Mazalot?
In this Torah, he's comparing the two. He's saying it's the same thing. Also, the Malach is also very similar. Maybe in deeper parts of Torah, they can tell you exact differences, but for right now, it doesn't. The point is that when we daven, we send up to the Kochav, to the Mazel, to the Malach, who governs whatever he governs, and then gets sent back down and gives us chias in whatever way we need. That star that gives koach comes from one of the 12 mazalos. Through somebody from Klal Yisrael getting up and davening, through his special nusach. Each person has their own nusach. Nowadays, we're not from all the 12 different tribes, but each person has his own personality, has his own neshama, has his own nusach of tefillah. Some people say it a little faster, some a little slower, some with a little bit of a niggin. Right? Everybody has their own nusach. And you have to go with that. Don't copy anybody else's. You have to mean it, you have to be into it, you have to know you're actually trying and being poel. But you don't have to be like anybody else. Some chassidim like to scream out loud like crazy, stolen. Some people are a little more quiet. Some people daven very fast, some daven slow. You have to know what actually works for you. Don't trick yourself. What actually works, that's what you have to do. That's your nusach. So through davening, through v'kam shevet miyisrael, lehispal nasa derech kochav miyakov. That's going to what? Take the star and give it the koach, shakochav dorach umakes dvarim shegab. And that's what's going to give the kochav the power to mark it, to hit that which it governs, to tell it to grow, to give it chiyas. So all of our ruchnius, all of our gashmius comes from our own tefillas. All right? Okay. V'zeh shamru. This is what Chazal say in Gemara Pesachim. Kashin mezonos hashal adam kikriyas yamsuf. The kasha zivuga shal adam kikriyas yamsuf. You've heard this, Chazal? It's very difficult. It's very difficult for a Kodesh Baruch Hu to set the mezonos of each person, because we believe that a Kodesh Baruch Hu is the one who sends us our parnasa. It's as difficult as it was, whatever that means, as difficult as it was for Hashem to split the Yamsuf, it was even harder. It's even harder for Kodesh Baruch Hu to be mefarnes and get food to everybody in the world. This is also the kasha zivug shaladim k'kriyas Yamsuf. Hashem is always being mazavig zivugim. He's always setting up man and woman, or Rabbi and Talmud, different things. That was also as hard as Kriyas Yamsuf. So what shaykh is the Kriyas Yamsuf? What does that mean? It tells Rabbi Nachman V'Ramos with Maimer Zeh, the remez is Ki hinei Yamsuf nikra l'shnei masar kram. We know from Chazal that Yamsuf split up into 12 different parts for each shevet. Kineged shnei masar shvatim, it says. V'kol shevet avar b'shvil miyuchad. Each shevet has its own path. V'hinei B'nei Yisrael b'tfilos gormim zivugu dekutche brichu shchintei. Klal Yisrael through their tefillah, this is big, are also mezavig zivugim. The main zivug of our life in Avodas Hashem is to mezavig kutche brichu u'shchintei. Kodesh Baruch Hu and His shchina, His presence. Right? God is one, but as He allowed Himself to be constricted in the tzimtzum, the very fact that we have a world that we can live in, He had to constrict Himself to allow there to be a world. So as the constrictions came down, there became a separation, even though there is no, in the emes is no separation, but the way we see the world, there's a difference between Kudsha Brichu and His Shchin, His presence. Often we're trying to draw down His presence in our lives. Kudsha Brichu is very, very high. That's a very, very high level of Avodas Hashem. But the Shechina, we try to draw it down all the time. Now, when Klal Yisrael davens, we are combining, and we're making it clear that the Shechina and Kudsha Brichu, there's no difference. In this world, it looks like there's a difference, because we don't see the Rebbeinu Shalom everywhere. People make that mistake all the time. But when a person davens, he's reuniting Kudsha Brichu and Shechina. He's saying there's no difference. Everything here is a Kodesh Baruch Hu. But the very fact that you're asking for parnasa, for health, why would you ask HaKadosh Baruch Hu if you didn't believe that He's the one who takes care of that? Right? Refuah in the world. The very fact that there's something called refuah, healing, that's God's shechina. But if we don't realize that, then you're separating, right? You're separating the refuah from the Rebbeinu Shalom, right? Doctors have to. There's a Yiratzon. You know the famous Yiratzon. Shulchan Aruch tells us there's a Yiratzon that before you take any medicine, Yiratzon Mefanecha, Hashem Elokai v'Elokei Avosai. May be your will, God. Sheyehei Asek Zeli. That this Asek that I'm doing, whether it's a pill, surgery, therapy, Sheyehei Asek Zeli l'Refuah. It should work for me as a refuah. Ki rofa chinam ata. Because you, God, are the free healer. God doesn't take insurance. He doesn't need insurance. He doesn't care about your insurance. And then you take the medicine, you do the therapy, and you say, Baruch Rofei Chol. Blessed are you, the Rofei Cholim, the one who gives refuah to those who are sick. That's the way of reuniting Kudsha Brichu and Shechina. So by our tefillah, we're also being Mezavik Zivugim. So he explains, Yichud v'Zivug shel Kodesh Baruch Hu v'Shechina. The Yichud, the unifying, the zivug, and that, what's the English word for zivug? Shidduch, it's not an English word. The matching up, right, partnering up.
Would you say why or would it say why?
What? Why what? Or how?
Why? No, why is it as difficult as Kriyas Yamsuf?
We're working on it.
We'll get there.
We're working on it. At the end of this paragraph, we'll get it clear.
Kudsha Brichu and Shchinte, how is that compared to the Yud Hey and the Vav Hey?
Kudsha Brichu is the Vav.
Is the Yud Hey?
No. Okay. What do we say? What do we say in the?
V'yachid Shem Yud Hey and the Vav Hey.
Yeah, Yud Vav K.
Yisbuch L'Shamayim.
Kudsha Brichu is generally the Vav of Vav K. Teferes Yud Vav K. And the K, the last Hey, is Malchus, which is Shchinta. So we want to combine those two in this world, and then with that we can go to Yud K. Very high. Very, very high. Yud K is not in this world. Yud K is Chochmah Bina, it's Olam, it's Alma Deskasya, hidden world. We're in the Alma Desgalia. So in this world we're trying to unify Kuchabrichu and Shchinte, the Vavke. Okay. So he explains a little bit. We're not going to get obviously into the Amkas here. Shashchina, she spheres of Malchus. The Shechina, which is the sphere of Malchus, we know there's 10 spheres. The lowest sphere is the sphere of Malchus. Hashochenes bolam hazeh, that rests in this world. Mis'alu misyachedes in parts of Zer Anpin Shemele. We want it to be raised up and combined to its partner, its husband. Malchus is the Nekeva, is the woman. Zer Anpin Teferes is the male. We want to have a match made in heaven. Pun intended. Just to laugh a little bit. Kamosha Kasas, the pasuk says, Sol l'rochev aravos. Hashem, he rides high in the heavens. Rochev da kutshabrichu. That Kodesh Baruch Hu rochev al Shemayim. Who's the one who rides in Shemayim? That bechin of a Kodesh Baruch Hu called kutshabrichu. Aravos da shchinta. The word aravos here, says Rabbi Nachman, it says shchina. Why? Shenes arev, aravos, shenes arev means a mixture, bakol gevon, of all colors. Ki ashchina hi spheres malchus, because the shchina is the sphere of malchus. Shehi mekabelos es haor shakol sphere shemeleo. That the last sphere, the sphere of malchus, is a recipient. It's a receptor. It gets from all the 9 spheres that are above. All the light coming down. All the light coming down from Keser, Chachma, Bina, Chesed, Gevurah, Tiferes, Netzach, Hod, Yesod, all that's getting filtered down into Malchus. It's Makabel, the light from all the spheres that are above it. The Kola Oros, and all the light from all the different spheres all come down into Malchus, and they get mixed over there. And then it comes down into the world. V'lachein, Himachuna Aravos, Meloshan Iruv. Iruv means to mix. V'solu hu lashon shabchu. V'solu is a lashon of shvach. Haresh al yedei hashvach shanu mishabchu HaKadosh Baruch Hu, through our shvach, our praise, tefillah. B'tefillah seinu nasa yichud shel kushvich l'shinta. Right, tefillah is not just bakashas. Most of tefillah is not bakashas at all. It's praising Hashem. It's recognizing what He does in this world. So when we praise HaKadosh Baruch Hu in this world, that's our way of reuniting the Shchinta. Let's just say a rainbow, right? Parshas Noach. A rainbow. That rainbow, we understand, is a revelation of His Shechina, of His presence in this world. So when we say the bracha on the rainbow, Baruch Atah Yud Kei Vav Kei, we're combining the recognition of His rainbow, His Shechina, and that's coming from Kutshabrish, it's coming from Yud Kei Vav Kei.
Just I saw from Rabbi Bitterman this week, he brought down the Arizal on the rainbow. Avram's chesed is white. You see Yaakov,
Yitzchak is red, Gevurah,
and
Yaakov is green.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's called the rainbow. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Comes from
Chesed, Gevurah, Tiferet.
Exactly. Not what it is. And that's tefillah. So he explains, well, through that zivug that we're causing all of our tefillah, all the praises, all the recognition of God in this world, we're pointing to the rainbow saying, that's you, Kodesh Baruch Hu. We're pointing to our eyes, Pokei Chivim, saying, that's you, Hashem. Mabisha Rumim is you. Matir Asurim is you. Everything is you. Right? That's why you need the Bakach and the Kavanah to really actually believe it. Right? We can say these words all day long, but we actually have to mean it, believe it, and mean it. So through these zivugim that we're causing our tefillah, kain zochel is zivugo. When we're causing zivugim in Shemayim, it's actually going to give us a zivug. Okay, Kodesh Baruch Hu mashpia.
It seems like a Kodesh Baruch Hu needs a tefillah. Needs, but I'm saying
To make sure you have the kazayas.
That's what
He doesn't need it, but he's giving us an opportunity. That if because the world works in Midah Keneged Midah. So he gives the opportunities for us to run our own lives. If we want zivugim, and he says, "Be mizavig mi ki'ilu," and then automatically you'll get it.
He does need our tefillos.
Well, okay. There's many madrigas about Kodesh Baruch Hu. At the end of the day, he doesn't need any of them. But yes, as he is Ein Melech B'Lo, there's no king without a nation. Meaning to have a world, he needs our tefillos, whatever that means. Is that what you're talking about? I don't know.
I started reading
Oh boy. We'll talk about that in a minute.
what?
Let me just finish up.
Right.
Kodesh Baruch Hu mashpia al ha'adam mida keneged mida. HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives shefa, influence, bracha in the world, mida keneged mida, measure for measure. What you do, you get. Right? That's why if a person davens lazy, Kodesh Baruch Hu niparnasa, if it's lazy and you don't get it, don't start crying that it didn't work. Because mida keneged mida. Hashem's like, yeah, okay, I'll give it to you. Yeah, when I get around to it. You're going to act lazy? You'll act lazy. But if you put mamash, your kochos in, and you understand the munah that HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants the best for you, and you daven your heart out, that's the way you get answered. Whether it's with the mominus, or with the menuchas hanefesh, the yishuv hadas, that even though I don't have the money right now, I'll be okay because I trust in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We don't always get what we ask for. But we might get something on the side that will help us as well. Right? So every parent says to their kid, what you put into the test is what you get out. That's the normal way. You put hours in, you study, you'll do well. Generally. What? From Sarah Agra. Exactly. According to that's where N1 got it from. What did N1? Are they still a company? Yeah. You know N1, the basketball apparel. According to the pain, no pain, no gain. No pain, no gain means what it really means is according to the pain is the gain. Right? That's what I mean. So the Fum Tzara, according to the pain, Agra is going to be your schar.
That's right.
I think N1's actually from guy. Syrian guy, yeah. So that's not sure. That's his kavanah. What?
No, it's right to Tata.
That's what this whole thing is here.
Yeah.
Isariza de Tata, our davening, sends it upstairs. Isariza de La'ela sends it back down. It's the real deal. But you have to be in it. You got to be on time davening, early davening, kavanah, awake, mean it. If we really believed we're standing before Hashem, if we really believed that our chiyas comes from davening, we would spend more time, more kavanah in our davening than at work.
That's what the
Right? If we really believed it,
Rishonah.
that's not pasha.
The Rishonah, the Gemara says.
They were down for most of the day, 9 hours. I'm saying, pasha right now. We daven an hour shachas. We daven, I don't know, let's say 40 minutes. Let's be nice. If we really believe this, which is his emes, no one disagrees with this. No one disagrees with this. But we haven't actualized that emunah. But even though in the deep part of our neshama, yeah, I really do believe it, but come on. I actually have to, get to do those reports and I have to do all that stuff to make the money. Yeah, Kodesh Baruch Hu, yeah. We don't really believe it. If we really believed it, our davening would be different. Yes or no?
Yes.
Simple. Your emunah in tefillah is obvious when you just look at how you daven. Yes, a person can have an off day. I'm talking about in general. If a person's sleeping through Shemona Esrei every single day, it's because he doesn't believe in the koach of tefillah. And that's chaval. Because Rabbi Nachman's not joking. He says the ikar chiyas makadem me'tefillah. All your parnasa, all your ruchnias is telling you tefillah. V'atefillah, let's finish up. Hem shtei mesrei neschos. Tefillah has 12 different neschos based on each shevet. Alfikach hazivu k'kriyas yamsuf. Therefore, that's the connection. Tefillah is like kriyas yamsuf. Each have 12. Shem shnei masar because it's based on the shvatim. 12. Vimkach. They finish up here. They explain us the remes. Vimkein. Ramaz b'maimer chazal zekach. Kasha zivug shel adam. It's very difficult to pair up man with woman. Hakushi bezivug shel adam hu misma'it kifi masha machnas kochos b'tfiloso. According to your tefillah, according to the Gorim Yosef Lezivuk Shel Kodesh Baruch Hu Shchinto, according to the way that you daven be'emes and you believe in what you're saying, and you're mezaveg kuchabrichu shchinta, all the zivugim you need down here become much easier. If your midah is the daven mezavik zivugim, so Kodesh Baruch is, keneged midah, I'm going to mezavik zivugim. Whether it means actually a partner, whether it means I need mumminess, that's a zivug. Whether I need emotional, mental health, whatever it is. Tefillah b'chinas kriyas yamsuf. Tefillah is b'china of kriyas yamsuf, the splitting of the sea into 12 sections. Ki hayu bo shnei masar shvilim. There are 12 pathways. Keneged shnei masar shvatim, for the 12 shvatim. V'gam tefillah yesh ba shnei masar nuschos keneged shnei masar shvatim. And kriyas yamsuf also had 12 pathways. So we want the mazonos to come down. We want the food in our life. How do we get food? How do we get parnasa? Tefillah. 12 different nuschos. That's why it's like kriyas yamsuf, because there's 12 different partitions. There's 12 shvilim. So whatever we send up, we're going to get down to mazonos. And whatever we send up, we're going to get in our zivugim. We should daven hard. We should believe this. And think about our tefillah and work as hard as we can on our tefillah.
Shkoye, shkoye.